Y'all feel good about how you guys ran the ball today, right?
Yeah, I've said it every week in the last few that when we run the ball well, we're tough to stop. And, our runs the last couple of years against them, they went for 1 or 2, went for 5 or 6, or we popped them. So that gets our drive started in the right way.
What was the biggest reason for the difference?
I don't know. I thought we had a good game plan, but good players make coaches look better. And I thought we came off the ball and hit them. I thought our running backs really ran downhill. Our receivers blocked the best they blocked on the perimeter and sprung a couple of the runs. So really proud of the way our offense executed.
Tanya seemed specifically electric tonight. Did you feel like he was really running well?
Thomas had, one of his best nights running. Made a guy miss for a big touchdown, ran hard. If he keeps running like that, we got a bunch of guys and a two-headed monster in the backfield that we'll lean on the rest of the way.
There's been a lot of talk about him in practice this week and having a big week. Did you see that and then carried over towards the game?
Thomas had maybe his best week of practice and it carried over. So I think our guys believe that and buy into it, that when they practice well, they play well.
Coach, how would you assess the offensive line playing at opening up those holes and talk about how a lot of those younger guys have matured over the past few weeks, getting more reps and stuff?
Well, we got a long way to go. We were not going to let our guys pack themselves on the back. We're playing a really good team next week too. But looking back, I think our offensive line took it to heart when people were a little down on them about how we ran the ball in a couple games. And ever since then, those guys have stepped their game up. So that's where we need to keep it.
Stanford got closer in the third quarter, and you guys responded with a touchdown. Talk about that drive and what it meant for the rest of the game.
Well, I was looking down at my call sheet, with about 6 minutes maybe left in the third quarter, and we'd only had one possession on offense, and that started at our half-yard line. So we were just anxious to get back out on the field. We kind of stopped ourselves on that drive, or might have had a chance to take it all the way down the field. But listen, against those guys you're not going to get many possessions. We didn't get many possessions tonight, but we capitalized on most of them.
How big was it for the offense's rhythm for the defense to not allow Stanford's offense to grind the clock like they did last year?
Well, our defense played great. My hat's off to them too. My hat's off to DP and the defensive staff. It was a total team win tonight, and if we play like that offensively and defensively, we're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
You talk about Marcus and some of the plays he made with his feet tonight.
Well, we designed a few things for Marcus, and then some other things. He was just Marcus. I thought he actually missed a couple throws that I never ever see him miss, but he made some absolutely sensational throws that nobody else in the country could make. So he's such a weapon with his feet, his arm, and his mind.
How about that throw to Carrington at the side of the end zone there?
Well, we practiced that play all week. We were trying to get it against single high, and we thought we'd have a chance on a double move. We hadn't thrown to the backside all week, and I hadn't even coached him to throw to the backside, but he escaped in the pocket, and he's so good at improvising and making plays. He's just the best player I've ever been around.
You said on Monday you felt it was important for the team not to put a special emphasis on this game. Now that it's over, how does it feel to beat them after 2 years of struggling?
Well, I think it helped us not to look too far forward to this game and circle it on the schedule. I think because of that, our kids attacked and played looser. It's important now not to circle that one on our schedule either. Utah's a really good team, and it's got to be next team up, and we got to come back to work on Monday like we did last week.
Scott, how was it important to have healthy Marcus, A, and then B, a back like Royce Freeman, who's hard to keep at a loss? He keeps moving forward in a game like this against Stanford.
My hat's off to Stanford. They're coached really well. They play really hard. They execute well, and it's not an accident. I don't know how many games it's been since they've given up 30 points, but you got to tip your hat to them on that. They've been one of the best defenses in the country in the last 3 years, especially. But we hadn't played our best game against them in the last couple of years due to a lot of things, turning the ball over, maybe having guys nicked up. No excuses. We're going to face them with guys banged up or whatever. They're going to face us with guys banged up. They were missing a guy and had a nose guard a little hurt today. Thought we just executed and played a lot better game today.
Scott, Mark said that the way you guys prepare and believe is special. What does that mean to you? What does that entail?
Our guys believe that if they work their tails off, it'll get them an advantage. Our guys buy into team first and me second. So this group's really coming together in a special way, and we got a lot of ground to cover to reach the goals that these guys want to reach, but everything's starting to come together the right way.
Is it more unique than, say, last year, the year before, even the year before?
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody's expectations were so high last year that maybe they forgot the process a little bit. This team, particularly after we dropped one fairly early on, has really bought back into the process and everything that the team is supposed to buy into, and it's really starting to gel right now.
How do you guys do that, though? How did that happen? How did that develop?
Honestly, it's because of our players. We go out of our way to recruit players with good character and high character, and those are the type of guys that are going to work hard, come together, be team first, and I can't give enough credit to the guys that are out there doing it. They tackle really well in space, and we hadn't scored in any long ones, and a lot of credit to wide receivers for blocking, for turning a shorter gain into a couple big gains.
Pharaoh Brown, too, had a couple big blocks in the first half, a couple touchdown runs. I think he pancaked his guy, too, on Marcus's touchdown run. His blocking's been big the last few weeks. That's something you've seen from him really step into the last.
Pharaoh has improved by leaps and bounds, especially the last 5 or 6 weeks. He's truly become a weapon for us at tight end in the run game and the pass game.
Scott, everyone talks about how physical Stanford is. How would you assess your offense as a physical offense?
Well, we're never going to line up in triple I and just pound at people, but we want our linemen to come off and move people. And, like I said to someone else, I think our linemen took it as a challenge when they took a little criticism for not being able to run the ball as well in a couple games when we were beat up, and the whole group has responded. And that's the best we've run the ball against Stanford in 3 years.
Tyner and Freeman are running downhill hard. How is that helping the offensive line even be more physical?
Well, I think the line knows with those two guys behind them and Marcus behind them that if they open up a gap, somebody's going to hit it full speed. And, collectively, just so proud of our offense for putting that kind of effort out on the field tonight and executing as well as they did.
That scramble that Mariota had in the end zone for a touchdown, was that an audible? Because it looked like they showed that blitz a little early, and then it looked like he audibled out and then kept.
No, we were just checking the defense to see if we got the look that we wanted. Charles Nelson deserves a ton of credit on that. He's a 160-pound kid, and Stanford doesn't give you the edge. They don't let you boot out of there or roll out of there because their outside backers are really stout. And Charles motioned down in at 160 and put a pretty good lick on a 260-pound backer, which really got Marcus the edge. So a ton of credit goes to Charles.